In tonight's news, Port Augusta drivers too heavy on the pedal and grape growers in the southern Flinders up to date with the latest techniques. Good evening, thanks for joining us. Also tonight, the Army boosts Whyalla's economy and Port Pirie City lets the game slip in State League soccer. But first tonight, motorists are travelling too fast along Carlton Parade in Port Augusta, according to a recent survey carried out by the City Council. Council is now calling on the police to set up speed traps along the road.
Concerns raised by a resident of Carlton Parade prompted Council to undertake a traffic survey and speed analysis near Mulhall Street. Over a 13-day period, the average speed at or below which 85% of motorists travelled was 61 kilometres per hour, which exceeds the speed limit of 60. Some drivers even topped 90 kilometres per hour. While the equipment used for this survey is not 100% accurate, Transport SA investigates all 60 kilometre zones where 85% of motorists exceed 55 kilometres an hour. And at its last meeting, Council resolved to ask for police assistance to monitor the road. In previous surveys, McSporran Crescent, Stirling Road and Shirley Street were identified as speeding hotspots in Port Augusta. Kerry State, Central News.
Grape growers in the southern Flinders are richer in knowledge after attending a viticulture course, and all indications are the area should yield a successful harvest. Growers in the southern Flinders are only new to the winemaking industry, but already the signs are encouraging.
Education, well, it's endless really, isn't it? But I mean, most of the people here in the southern Flinders are smaller growers, and they're in the infancy stage.
Some expertise such as we've got here this week will keep us on the straight, give us the options, and we make our own mind up, and then we can train our workers to how we want our vineyards set up.
Vineyard owners and their workers gathered last week to learn from grape expert Roger Ackland. He took them through all facets of winter management, including pruning and water control, passing on knowledge he's acquired over the years.
I think the main tip that I'm teaching them is control their own environment and be very supportive of one another.
I think it's fairly important to get your base work correct for a start, so you need somebody that's been teaching and training and is actually has grown vines that they know exactly what to expect out of it.
The viticulture course was funded through the Kickstart program, and most growers already have contracts with major wine companies. Yalumba, Lehmans and Southcore also sent representatives along to the course to check out the quality, but the real test is still to come.
It'll be nice to see the end product coming out of here in a few years' time when the vines settle down. That'll be the telling time.
And if all goes well, the region could provide a boost to employment, especially when it comes time to harvest. Parnell Mogas won't know for another 4 to 6 weeks whether it can build a road transport depot on Port Augusta's west side, according to City Manager Ian McSporran. While the development was approved by Council last year, the decision has been the subject of a court hearing last week after an appeal was lodged by local property owners. All evidence has been heard, with the Environment, Resources and Development Court now adjourned until final summations. These will be presented in Adelaide at a date still to be fixed. Whyalla's economy has been given a boost by a visit from the Army. Units from the Victorian Army Reserve are conducting a training exercise which rely heavily on the city's infrastructure.
About 750 personnel travelled from Victoria to take part in a 2-week exercise which demonstrates the increased ability of a large Army reserve. Different areas of the 4th Brigade are testing their capability to cooperate and display the effectiveness of the Defence Force.
Just about everybody out here is a part-time soldier or reservist, and for most of them, this is quite different to their day-to-day. A large proportion of our people are university students, probably short of cash and sick of the books. Others have got all sorts of managerial jobs. I guess what this means for them is they get back to the basics. Life in a lot of ways becomes more simple when you're out in the field.
We have young people from a broad range of backgrounds, and the reserve forces bring them together Some of them are in their skilled background, some of them are doing something completely different. But what they're showing us is that they are effective as an army organisation and they're doing a damn good job.
Infantry, artillery, combat engineers and armoured vehicles are supported by a diverse team, including medical officers, dentists, cooks and clerical staff. And in doing its job properly, the Army is spending about $35,000 within the Steel City.
Any army is going to rely heavily on the local infrastructure to support us, and the provision of contract support, a wide range from sanitation to rubbish collection, the provision of fresh rations.
Live fire practices involving artillery, small arms and anti-tank weapons are being conducted at the Coltana military range, and El Alamein is also being used by the brigade.
Whyalla is a great area for us because it gives us something different. We're used to exercising in Victoria. The major range there is Puckapunyal, and a lot of the troops are familiar with that. So to remove them from there, it gives them a different exercise area.
It's a great new environment, fantastic training area, and it really lends itself to the type of training that we're doing.
The exercise ends on Saturday when 150 vehicles make the two-day trip back to the eastern states. Marty Westphalen, Central News.
Coming up after the break, riding in the name of charity and Port Lincoln swimmers put through their paces.
It's been totally re-engineered and redesigned with more safety features and more luxury than ever before. And now it's available with a PowerTech V8 engine and the unique Quadra Drive four-wheel drive system. Introducing the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most capable Jeep ever.
Buy tyres, wheels and batteries from Bob Jane T-Marts and pay no interest for 12 months. Not 3 months, not 6 months, not even 9 months, but 12 whole months. There's no deposit, no catches and absolutely no strings attached. Interested?
Thanks, Bob.
This Tuesday, Oz Lotto's delivering a massive $3 million jackpot.
I want to break free. I want to break free.
To go in strong on weeds, go with the strength in the mix. Ally, only by DuPont.
We make a world of difference. Tank World.
Tank World's massive pump giveaway is now on. Yes, Tank World are giving away Davy pumps valued at up to $610 with all tank orders over 3,500 gallons. That's right, Australian-made Davy pumps worth up to $610 free. Don't miss Tank World's massive pump giveaway. Order now.
Tank World, we make a world of difference. Tank World.
Calling all business houses in Port Pirie. Membership is now available to be part of the Flinders View United Traders Association. Join in the association and share the vision to lead, unite and develop the Port Pirie area as the premier business and tourism region. Let's get business moving. Join the Flinders View United Traders Association. Contact Diane Robertson-Smith for your membership application and help start shaping Port Pirie's business future.
Coming soon, all the Friends cliffhanger answers when we let the London wedding shocker.
Hi, Ross. Take the Emily. Take the Rachel.
Be watching soon on Central.
This is worse than when he married the lesbian.
To find out how it ends.
Emily.
And will Monica and Chandler get back under the sheets?
How could we have let this happen 7 times?
The little words will change everything.
You're really hot.
All the cliffhanger answers when Friends returns soon on Central.
And now, more on NAIDOC celebrations which ended on the weekend. Whyalla celebrated with a host of activities which finished with a street march and raising the Aboriginal flag.
Aboriginal Torres Strait Islanders riding for the disabled and non-Indigenous Australians joined in a march to Butlingara Aboriginal Corporation on Friday morning. An Aboriginal banner led the procession as walkers wearing and waving traditional colours spread their message to Whyalla's community.
It's about coming together, and it's about, the theme today is about respect, respecting each other individually, culturally and globally.
It not only happens in Whyalla, it happens all across Australia, and to have a day of celebration towards our culture, we have to recognise and respect that we have a place here and where our land is and where we come from.
Community representatives addressed the crowd at Butlingara during a ceremony where both Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island flags were raised. NAIDOC Week recognises the contributions Indigenous Australians have made to the nation through their surviving culture.
We recognise each other's right to be here, that Aboriginal people for so long have not been able to identify themselves, and this is one way of doing it.
Friday's march allowed non-Indigenous Australians to be a part of the celebrations and in turn develop a greater understanding of Australia's original cultures. Marty Westphalen, Central News.
Horsepower of a different kind took over most of the Lincoln Highway on the weekend. It was a horse ride to raise money for the Crippled Children's Association's Community Achievement Awards.
It was an early morning start on Friday for these riders and their transport, but it's all in the name of charity.
It was basically a group of, horse riders, and we said, well, we could do a ride and get sponsors to sponsor us to ride from point A to B to help us raise money.
Melanie Quinn is one of the entrants for the Community Achievement Awards, hosted by the Crippled Children's Association, and along with some help from friends, decided a ride on horseback from Port Lincoln to Cleve would be a great way to raise awareness for the association, but more importantly, raise money.
Not only do crippled children require an extensive amount of services such as speech pathology, occupational therapy, physiotherapy and home care, many of them also require expensive pieces of equipment for mobility, for communication and just to carry out daily living tasks which many of us take for granted.
Melanie joined the quest in April and has so far raised about $3,000, not including the money gathered along the way. But it's not too late for people to show their support. Money can be sent direct to Melanie Care of the Cleve Post Office, and all cheques should be made out to the Crippled Children's Association.
It's been really good to see how the community's pulled together and helped us raise funds.
The group left Port Lincoln on Friday and arrived in Cleve today to enjoy a well-earned celebration. Anna Marola, Central News.
Some of our peninsula's potential young swimmers have been involved in a 2-day Swim SA training and education camp. It's been 2 years since this type of camp has been held in Port Lincoln, with Whyalla the host last year. On Friday, around 30 swimmers from Port Lincoln, Cowell, Whyalla and Cummins turned out to receive some training from state coach John Atkinson. Besides technique training, the swimmers were also taught about nutrition and setting goals for themselves. Mr Atkinson commended Port Lincoln for having indoor training facilities available at the leisure centre, which encourages the swimmers to continue training throughout the winter months. He says some of the swimmers may be part of the next country talent squad. After the break, news from Broken Hill and weekend sport.
What happens when the greatest soccer team of the 90s meets the pick of Australia? Find out when the Red Devils take on the cream of our overseas and home-based stars.
Life is changing so fast, it's scary. We're not sure where we'll be tomorrow. We're not sure where we're going today. And we're so busy worrying about the...
Classifieds, Certificate 2 in Security Operations. Be trained now as a crowd controller or security officer. Conducted by Chubb Training, Port Augusta, July 26. Phone 86411 002. The best people in tax, that's our claim. H&R Block Tax Accountants, Port Augusta, Chris Hayho, on 8642-6303, Port Pirie, Pauline Murray, on 8632-5211, Whyalla, Ian Townsend, on 8845-0534. D Faces of Youth Arts workshops commence after the holidays, Sunday 25th of July. New times, juniors 11:30am to 1:30pm, seniors 2pm to 6:30pm. Monday 19th of July, low support, at new time of 7pm to 8:30pm. Call 8645 8309 to register. Rugrats rated G screening at the Keith Michelle Theatre Tuesday 13th of July at 2pm with an extra session at 4pm.
Two members of the National Stroke Foundation visited Broken Hill to increase awareness on the risk of stroke and also help establish a support group in the city.
Around 40,000 Australians have a stroke each year, making it the nation's third largest killer. Up to 25% of people who suffer from a stroke die within 1 month. Research is now underway to determine how many strokes are occurring in Broken Hill and across the far west. The New South Wales Department of Health is funding an audit into the standard of care for patients who have suffered a stroke. Although it's still too early to release the region's stroke statistics, it's believed education and early assessment is the key to reducing the risk of a stroke.
We want to reduce the chance of patients who have warning signs going on to having a stroke, and we want to reduce the chance of patients who've had a stroke having a bad outcome. And we think that we can do that by having better educated public and better educated doctors.
Two National Stroke Foundation members are briefly in the city to help start a stroke support group in Broken Hill.
A good club will have some form of continuing rehabilitation and education so that they can make sure that they change their lifestyle where necessary to see that they minimise further strokes.
We need to provide that feeling of empathy, understanding. We need to help forge stronger links between hospitals and health professionals and people in the community.
2/3 of stroke occur in people aged 65 and over, but there are warning signs to look out for to avert a stroke. The team has been on the road for the past 16 weeks and has travelled around 25,000 kilometres in this unique set of wheels, displaying the National Stroke Foundation's brain attack butterfly symbol of hope and new life for sufferers of stroke.
We found, especially when we get out to rural areas, that there's a great hunger for information on stroke and how it's to be managed.
Sarah Mitep, Central News.
To soccer, and Port Pirie City lost its game against Adelaide Metro in the dying minutes of Saturday's State League soccer at Savoy Park. The two sides went into the break 0-0 with both missing chances to goal. Then in the 20 minutes of the second half, City worked its way to the top and set up a great goal from the right wing. However, the Metros hit back hard as the City defence became rattled as Ashley Hunter made changes. Clever forward work saw Metros equal, and then in injury time, Simmons brilliantly weaved his way through a wall of players to score the winning goal. In Adelaide, the Northern Demons drew 2-2 with Noarlunga United. In Northern Areas Soccer, Lions 3, Westlands 0, Steel 7, City 0 and Croatia 6 to the Wanderers 2. Now we'll take a look at other football results from around the region. To the result of the SA Country Championship, Sandare Peninsula 8-10 defeated South East 8-3. In Port Lincoln and Mallee Park, 21-9 to the Bostons, 11-10. Waybacks, 12-10, Lincoln South, 9-7. And Marble Range, 10-8, defeated Tasmans, 4-4. To Great Flinders and the Ramblers, 15-10, had a win over Cummins Kapini, 11-12. And United Yellena, 16-18 to Lock, 13-11. To Midwest and Woodena United, 10-5, defeated Central Air 5-14, Elliston 15-12 to Whyalla 13-9, and West Coast Hawks a massive 31-8 to Western Districts 3-5. In northern areas, Peterborough 16-13 to Laura Wirrabra 14-9, Orroroo 20-12 to Jamestown Appala 11-8. BMW 12-13 to Crystal Brook 9-7, and Broughton Mundura 14-20 defeated Gladstone Combine 8-11. To the northeastern and BBH 23-12 to Blythe Snowtown 12-11, BSR 14-11 defeated RSMU 11-11, and Minman 18-10 Udunda 12-9. To the York Peninsula and the Cougars 18-4 to Ardrossan 13-8. CMS Crows 19-12 defeated Southern Eagles 8-8. Butte 29 goals 13, big winners over Wallaroo 7-7. And Kadina 16-19 to Pascaville 12 goals 5. After the break, all the weather details with Melissa Patterson.
Hi everybody. Well, Pirrie Quality Meats is taking on a fantastic new business direction. Let's go and talk to Rodney Sims about it. Hi Rodney.
How are you?
Good to see you.
It's good.
Now here you've closed down Norman Street.
Yes.
Yeah, what have you done that for?
Well, in South Australia there's some new laws and regulations coming in regarding the meat industry, and for us in my business anyhow to remain competitive and basically remain in business, I've had to do something about it, and Norman Street just wasn't a viable proposition. It outgrown its use-by date as a butcher shop. So we decided to look for a location that was suitable, and we found this one here down on the terrace. It's right opposite the special school for those people who don't know, and we've developed it in conjunction with the South Australian Meat Hygiene Unit to bring it up to standards that will be suitable for the year 2000 and beyond. We've introduced, or not introduced, but we've implemented a complete new cool room, all up to date and modern. It's climate controlled. What we can effectively do is say to people that we can maintain all our meat at a certain temperature, whether it's in a cool room or whether it's outside in our preparation area. And that's most important, especially up here in the warmer climate. It's most important, just for the general well-being of the meat, so that it's kept nice and fresh, and it will stay fresher a lot longer than before.
Now the location is fantastic for lots of reasons, but for people that are wanting to bulk buy, like the clubs and the hotels and things, easy access?
Yep, that's what it's designed for. We've got easy access to the off-street parking here, right out the front. We've also got a nice big loading bay out the back now, and that's for where the trucks pull in and unload. It's all undercover, weather protected. So yeah, and that's what we're designed for the clubs and the hotels and any organisation that resells meat. They can now come to us and purchase their products if they require them, and feel assured that they'll be dealing from a quality assured and accredited company.
Yes, well it certainly is that. But not to forget Ellen Street.
Ellen Street is still there.
Yes.
The Ellen Street is definitely still there.
Yes.
Some people thought when we were shutting down that we were just sort of closing down the whole operation and coming back to here. That's not the case. Ellen Street is still there as a gourmet shop and with all our main lines. As well, though, a lot of the lines will be available here for those people who are finding it hard to park in the city. We're only 2 or 3 minutes away from the main street itself, so they can quickly shoot down here on the way home from work or something and duck in and get something.
As usual, thanks Rodney. Oh, quality service from Pirrie's Quality Meats. Bye.
Tonight's weather is proudly brought to you by Evans Hourglass Jewellery. Free polish, free inspection, free quote on all necessary repairs. See the jewellery specialists, Evans Hourglass Jewellery.
Hello everyone. Well, the days were beautiful over the weekend when the thick fog finally cleared. It's unusual to be driving around at 11 o'clock in the morning with your headlights on. To the maxima for today, and Port Lincoln had the highest reading with 19, Whyalla reached 14 degrees and the Clare Valley 13. On the satellite photo we can see areas of low-level cloud over much of South Australia and Victoria. A cold front is evident to the west and southwest of Western Australia. To the charts now, a high south of the Bight is moving steadily eastwards. It will be centred near Tasmania on Wednesday. Also sometime tonight, a weak upper level disturbance will move over southern areas of the state. Looking at the regions now, in the western agricultural, local early fogs, then fine and cool to mild apart from isolated showers, chiefly about the east coast of Eyre Peninsula. Northwest pastoral, local early frosts and fogs, then a fine day, although cloudy at times in the east. Cool to mild with light southeast to east winds. Northeast pastoral, again some frosts and fogs, then into a fine day with some cloud about, cool to mild and light southeast winds. Northern agricultural, local early fogs, then a fine, mild and partly cloudy day, cool to mild with light to moderate south to southeast winds. Central districts, again local early fogs and partly cloudy in parts. Some showers chiefly near the coasts and ranges. Cool with light to moderate southeast winds. In Broken Hill, a morning fog clearing to a partly cloudy afternoon. Cool with light to moderate southeast winds. And looking ahead, Western agricultural, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, local early frost, then fine. Mild and mostly sunny days and winds will be light. Northwest and northeast pastoral, local fogs in the northeast pastoral on Wednesday, otherwise a fine and mild to sunny day, light southeast to northeast winds. Thursday and Friday will have local early frost, then fine and mostly sunny, light southeast to northeast winds. Northern agricultural, again those frosts and fogs will continue through until at least Friday, but the days will be fine and mostly sunny and winds will be light. Central districts, after the early frosts and fogs, again the days will be mostly fine and sunny and winds remaining light. In Broken Hill, fine and cool to mild with light to moderate southeast to east winds. And to the 28-day rain chart now. Rain is forecast for northern agricultural, central and lower western for Friday and Saturday and the following weekend also. For northwest and northeast pastoral and western agricultural, rain Friday and Saturday and again Friday and Saturday of the following week. On Gulf waters, south to southeast winds at 10 to 15 knots at times and seas to 1 metre. The outlook southeast winds at 7 to 12 knots. Overnight down to 5 degrees in Clare and up to 8 in Port Lincoln. Then tomorrow ranging from 16 degrees in Port Augusta, Port Lincoln and Port Pirie down to 13 in Broken Hill. That's all for this Monday. I'll see you at about the same time tomorrow. Here's Travis and good night.
Thanks, Melissa. And just a reminder, you can check on our stories from the region on our website at www.centralonline.com.au. And that's the news to now. Join me again at 6:30 tomorrow for more regional news. Until then, enjoy your evening. Good night.
Coast Care with Pat Rafter.
Australians love to fish, but some of our favourites are under threat from overfishing. So remember, take only what you need. Our coast needs our care.
Monday night's viewing here on Central. At 7 o'clock, drama of Home and Away. At 7:30, join Roger Clemson for Australia's Most Wanted. At 8:30, it's Ally McBeal. At 9:30, The X-Files. Then at 10:30, Talking Footy. Yeah.